Palms Tourney 2019 here in Bruges, Belgium. We have the German under-20 versus the Belgian under-20 underway right here. Scores now 5-3 as Germany just punched in an offensive hold. I'm Ravi Vasudevan here with Stefan Rappazzo for Ulti.tv. Stefan, how you feeling on this fine morning in Belgium?
Oh, couldn't be better, Ravi. No place I'd rather be. We've had ourselves a wonderful day yesterday. Before the stream started, we got to walk around, take a look at a whole bunch of teams. We saw a lot of universe point games, a lot of tight games, a lot of upsets, a little bit of everything walking around yesterday, and it brings us to right here, right now. We've got ourselves a European youngsters matchup where the Germans have jumped out with a bit more of a spark, but we've got ourselves a good-looking game in the early going. The one thing I want to talk about, Ravi, before we get right back into it, is the weather here. What have we been looking at? Tell us a bit. Tell the fans at home a bit about this weather, because we're seeing a bit of everything. This
morning we've gotten hail, we've gotten sun, we've gotten wind, we've gotten still conditions. We had a little bit of a lightning scare, but everything seems to be going without a hitch at the moment. So far we've seen a lot of zone defense from both teams because of those conditions. Germany getting the upper hand. As I said, it's 5-3 up for the Germans, and they started on defense, so I believe they're 2 breaks up. So far their O-line has been perfect. Belgium did manage to get a turn on that last possession from the Germans, but they ended up giving it right back after a timeout. Now Germany coming out with the zone as Faber Mathieu gets the disc. Oh, that popped on the sideline, and number 17 there.
They're talking about it, but from my perspective, he was standing all over the chalk there. He's definitely out, and he's succumbed. Justifiably so. Well done, well played. Unlucky for them on that swing.
Definitely unlucky. I think he could have held that in the sideline very easily. He just didn't exactly know where he was. As Massenbach puts up the disc, and that's an easy score over to number 16, Jasper Linde, and Germans extend their lead to 6-3.
Flex their muscles a little bit here. The Germans, I mean, Belgium got away with one, but you're right. It's a bit of laziness, a bit more field awareness. They're a little timid with their throws. I think they're starting to feel that they're being outmatched now, and a bit of their confidence may be dropping with that realization. But that was just a giveaway, Ravi. They certainly should have been able to keep that one in play, but how are the Germans? Just pick up and Czech and Berkeley cut up the line straight in for a score.
Got to say, the Germans look really good. Stefan, can you tell us a little bit about the results of these teams? They're still in initial phases of pool play. They're in a pool of 5, and I believe Belgium has taken 2 losses in the pool so far, and Germany has taken 1 loss. Can you tell us a bit about what's going on in this pool?
Yeah, let's read it down here. The Germans have Freestyle, Côte d'Ivoire, and Blue Arse Flies in the group with them. Blue Arse Flies, apparently a team that's been here right from the very beginning of this wonderful historic tourney. But the under-20 Germans first, they lost their only game, a heartbreaker, by 1-9-10 to Freestyle. Then they beat Blue Arse Flies 12-8 and beat Côte d'Ivoire 12-10. So a couple nice wins, a 4-point win, a 2-point win, and a small margin loss as a beautiful pull set sail landing into the hands of the Belgian offense.
And there Fabers with the disc, centering it there. Getting it over to Claes, and that's going to bobble off the hands of Boomalal. Boomalal had an incredible huck get Belgium's first score on this board, on this game. It's too bad it wasn't on the stream, but wasn't able to come down with that one as Germany have another short field offensive possession here, looking to extend their lead even further. Strike cut, great up there, but Sonntag looks to get it around. Sonntag's been a huge handler for this team all day, and there he gets a nice leading pass into space, but it's just out of the end zone as Rickards looks to keep it going. Herkins looking for his options, swings it across. Nice patient offense here from the Germans. Not forcing anything, trying to get it up that sideline.
And that 2 in the end.
That is called not in, as Meyer Boethling's going to have to take it on the line again. So far hasn't seen anything. Belgium doing a better job here of shutting down the options, but Herkins finds the space on the break side. No continuation though. Looking to get it back. I do like Belgium's defense here, really forcing difficult options.
Catch behind there.
Belgium pushing Germany back. They're further back than they were when they got this first possession, but Herkins comfortably getting it to the center of the field. finding the corner, and there's a huge layout block from the number 21 shirt of Louis Courtois.
What a bid. There may be some contact that they're discussing. I'm not sure about that. That was a great possession there. The Germans did stay quite patient. The Belgian defense did definitely turn it on there. They were coming down on every look. They were getting a step closer each time until that one right there.
I mean, I even thought that was an open pass when it went up, but Courtois made up a lot of ground and a huge bid there to come up with that defense. Now, conversation is whether or not the contact affected the play. He is contesting the foul call. What I saw was that he did get to the disc first, but he maybe clobbered the German player a bit after the play. In WIFDF rules, that is still technically a foul. Some people let that kind of thing go, some people don't, but it is the German right to call foul on that one. It's going to contest and get back.
It's a tough one. Any contact can be considered a foul if you believe it had an effect on your playmaking ability.
Meyer Boatling puts a swing across, but it is now
just kept off the turf.
And there they find the break side now, as Rickerts gets that disc into the end zone for Germany to get their lead to 7-3.
The Germans putting the foot down now, and I think that was Herkins with the throw. He's been, you talk about the two guys running that ship, Ricketts and Sontag. Those two behind the disc have just been outstanding with disc in hand, very poised, have that quick, hard first step. They can get open in small spaces, but the way their forehands come out, just so smooth. They can throw the break side, throw the open side. The outside ins and arounds look good. It's a good-looking afternoon, or early day, rather, for the German under-20s here.
All right, so it's now 30 minutes into this game. The rounds are only 50 minutes long. The cap goes off at that 50 minutes. You finish that point, and if it's not tied, game's over. So games are really short and punishing here. It's now 7-3. If you're Belgium, what are you thinking to make the best out of this game right now?
Well, with that, there's no half times either. So there is no more breaks, which is probably for Belgium a good thing at this stage, especially because they gave up the starting break. For them, I mean, they got to pull the finger out, so to speak. They got to get their stuff together and start scoring. And how they do that, whether they start gambling and taking bombs, or just get the troops rallied up, get hyped up, and get a one good, strong possession. That's all they really need. But they got to stop this bleeding here. One way or the other, they have to cash this in. For me, I would like to see my team play the unders, work hard, do it with the legs, and find a way to string some completions together into a goal.
Germany coming out with their own 1-3-3 zone. The wall really far back.
And the wind has just picked up.
Picked up a lot, and we do see the German player Scheer on the mark. Big guy, I think the biggest guy on the field here, putting a lot of pressure. And now when they get to the sideline, you see that the 1-3-3 closes in to cause a lot more pressure on the throw. That throw looked good coming off.
Exactly what they didn't need. I didn't even think he was looking at his receiver, but you're right. It did come out of hand well. It looked unorthodox.
But Van Mullen there just couldn't hold on to that disc. And Germany with another short field turn. This is not what you want, to give them easy scores, score after score, as the German D-line looking to get another score there. That one's going to be a little too low, and Belgium's going to get another chance.
That was a nice throw. I think that was a play that needed to be made by 28 going to ground there for the Germans.
And we do see here Germany again clamping in when Belgium gets on this low sideline. There, the disc gets floated out into space, but they are not where they want to be now, deep in their own defending end zone with a huge German zone on them. A lot of pressure on the Belgians right now.
There's no option to go deep. There's nobody past the 10-meter line. Like, they can't even huck to midfield right now with an option.
Everybody is almost in the end zone at this point.
There's nothing to look upfield for. They really need to test it. I mean, they got to spread out their offense, Ravi.
And I do like that scuba going over the top. I'm betting my house that that's a Mooncatcher's player, as we see more hammers and more scubers to break this zone offense open for the Belgians, and now space is opening up downfield. That was great patience to work through that end zone, and that nice inside shot from the Belgians as they're looking now all of a sudden with the big scuba, and that's going to be a score. Scubers win games there, Stefan. What do you think about that offensive point?
I think they made me look foolish saying that they got nobody deep to look at. They're just going side to side, and one way or the other they went to side side to side just enough. A floppy scuba over the top made it count. A second floppy scuba, and not for sake of bad throws, for sake of this weather. There were nice scubers in this wind.
I mean, scubers, I don't know how much you guys can see at home, but the wind is pretty strong here, and those were 3 scubers that were on point. Little floppy in the wind, but still on point and on target, and that's what allowed them to break open that zone. Sometimes it's what you got to do.
Yeah, they made me look foolish, but they were kind of made, brought some things to fruition that I would say they got to score one way or another. I said whether they do it with their legs or one deep throw. I never said with 3 wobbly scubers, but I suppose that's another option.
I mean, I don't know how much you're aware of the Belgian ultimate scene, but the moon catchers are known for their creative throwing. They're known for lackadaisically just throwing those scubers, throwing whatever they want. Really, really focus on their throwing prowess and creative throwing prowess from the team from Brussels, and I'm sure they make up a big contingent here on this Belgian side. But now, Germany's O-line, which has been very, very stellar and able to score almost every time, getting another chance here as the score is 7-4, still in favor of the Germans.
A whole bunch of teenagers running around out here. Blows me away, these kids, how refined they are indeed.
Herskins puts it up, looking for Rickards, and that floated just way up above as number 13 on Belgium.
Bit of a wind assist there.
Is Corentin Scheitskate picking that up. I did not expect that just to pop up like it did, so I can't imagine the players downfield did as well.
No, that's not part of the read in the early sighting.
So Belgium with a chance here, but they're gonna have to work up all this field with their D-line players. Here we see Van Mullen, who was very impressive on that first zone point in the last possession. As now Belgium seem to be moving it quite well. I like the throwing in this wind that I've seen on the Belgians. That's a nice throw.
Gotta go.
And he gets it. That's the first Belgian break of this game as they bring the score to 7-5, and they are excited and fired up after that point.
And just as we say, what do they need? What do they got to get going? They need a score one way or the other. They get it, a miracle score. They come back the other way, and they put together a nice-looking possession. A bunch of cuts through the center of the field, a couple nice throws. They looked off bon temps here on the close side early in the possession. I thought they weren't really looking upfield, not seeing all their options, but again, they found something the other side, and 2 great throws for meters to get the goal.
Very, very good throwing. Again, the wind is picking up pretty well, and like you said, teenagers throwing in this wind. I couldn't throw anything when I was a teenager.
Yeah, not like this, not like this. It's a good testament to what's happening in the development of this sport all over the world, especially here in Europe, obviously. You know, we're still playing catch-up compared to what's going on in the big US of A as far as numbers and skill levels, but it's great to see these kind of programs operating. It shows that the direction is there, and if nothing else, Europe does have a shining example in Bologna as to how to get it done, and a couple of these other countries they got some programs of their own that'll begin to or may even right now rival that program.
Yeah, last year we saw Belgium under 20 go to the World Junior Ultimate Championships in, I believe it was Toronto, and almost beat the Americans in the semifinals. They were up for a lot of that game, ended up losing 15-13. Controversial team, the Belgian under-20s. I don't know if we're going to talk about that too much on this stream.
That was last year. We'll let them be now.
But they were quite a strong team. What I'm trying to say, this year, a lot of those under-20 players have graduated and actually playing on the Belgian under-24 team, who are also at this tournament and doing quite well in the first division. This is a second division game.
One of the better-looking teams in Division One.
Would not be shocked to see them in the final, but here, but they still, you know, they lost a lot of the generation that was so strong last year. Still, this next generation not looking too shabby themselves.
Not at all.
Germany, another country that has a very strong youth program, as both of them prepare for the European Youth Ultimate Championships happening in August later this year, I believe, in Poland.
Yep.
And let's see, Germany, we see Belgium playing man-to-man defense, trying to force things. That's a bobble, and all of a sudden, Belgium have a short field opportunity.
And all of a sudden that momentum has swung. It is no longer the Germans with the swagger.
And you talk about swagger, how about that point there?
What a swiping fake out of the man with the red hair there.
Faber Mehieu making moves for the Belgians here, and they are, like you said, they got that one score, got to score it how you like it, and then roll with the momentum, and that's exactly what the Belgians have done so far this game.
I think I bit my tongue earlier when you said what could be done. I said anything, whatever,
anything.
Something's got to happen. But I was about to say it seems like it's all over, though. And I'm glad I kept that part in and can only admit it now after the Belgians had have done their part to make it interesting. Now only back 1.
7-6 the score now in favor of the Germans. It was 7-3 not so long ago.
And the Germans wisely take themselves a timeout to collect their thoughts.
Extending the clock, we're now 38 minutes into this game. The cap's at 50 minutes. Again, if it's even a 1-point difference after that, cap game is over. So it's good to try and hold on to that lead and try and stop the momentum that these Belgians have been picking up on. Again, like I said, the Germans went on a run of their own at the beginning of this game. I do think starting on D can be helpful because if you get them to give a short field turnover, it's so much easier than having to work this whole field in that wind. And both teams have been giving that up. You know, throwing a bit too difficult of a pass, just bobbling a catch. It's youth and experience, but you know, generally when you're playing in these windy conditions, you don't want to turn it near your end zone. You want to get that disc over, even if it's not the best shot. Make them work the whole field, but if you give them short field, it's going to be an easy score.
Yeah, tournament play specifically, I think the earlier in the day, the more sensible it is to come out on defense. You're waking up, especially around here, waking up in tents perhaps. You know, a long day, maybe half the team got a shower, half the team didn't. Some guys operating on half breakfast. You never know how it goes first thing in the morning in these tournaments. And you're right, coming out on D in these early games just takes a little bit of pressure off, lets you run a bit more savage to try and get things done rather than trying to force yourself to be precise in the early stages of daily life.
And so score is 7-6 with the Belgians pulling here as Germany needs to clean things up as they've just given up 2 breaks.
And that pull's going to sail out. We don't tolerate that kind of stuff around here.
So brick mark as Sonntag, the big German handler, tries to get things going here.
They're going to be looking at the zone here for sure.
The 1-3-3 look again from the Belgians. They've also tightened up their lines. We see a lot of the same players on this Belgian line that were on the last point. They're trying to really close this game out, trying to play this one to win.
And why not right now? It's for the pool. It's for the advancement, or the best case advancement.
So now Germany has reacted to Belgium switching into man-to-man defense. They've come out of their zone. As it's Sonntag-Herskens all the way down the field. Looking for Rickards at the front of that stack, but they're really playing just with those 3 players. The downfield cutters on Germany have not done too much. It's been Sonntag, Herskens, and Rickards doing almost all the work here for Germany all game.
Interesting discussion there on this foul call. The defender called the foul as though Herskens cut into him. And I like his perspective. I like the defender's perspective there. I think he did have effective position. He closed the door. He closed his body on the line, and Herskens continued to run him over there.
So Germany getting the disc up. Rickards on the sideline looking for an option. But again, it's just Sonntag, Rickards, and Herskens doing everything for these Germans. I don't see any movement of the rest of the players on this field. Just as I say that, we see another player get his way up.
Good handler defense. Good defense all over. They're really making them throw into tight windows, the Belgians are here at midfield.
It's Meyer Boethling with the disc now, as they have, like you said, Belgium has forced Germany backwards for the last 3 passes. Gets it up to Sonntag. And there, Meyer Boethling. Oh, it looked like he was going to be open for that strike cut, but Sonntag holding it back.
Switching the field.
And now he finds Herskens going up that line. He has lots of space, tries to jump it in. He's still pretty far away from the end zone. And he's on the end zone line. Doesn't like it. A lot of really good handler defense, as you said. No continuation off of that swing cut. And there, they keep attacking that forced open side. I mean, that's, again, Meyer Boethling with the score. But they should have a continuation off of that dump to try and hit that break side to open things up. They're not going to be able to hit that on stronger and stronger athletic teams. But it's going to count all the same, 8-6 for the Germans.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. They love this forehand side. They love the open side scores. They seem to get back to the center okay. When they do go back and switch the direction, they get looks the other way, but they're never throwing to that break side for the goals, or rarely, let's say, throwing to it. They seem to come back. They like their righty forehand throwers, their handlers in Herzer and 87 doing a great job. Just continue with that Sonntag. Keeping those high forehands, the arounds, having some nice shape in the throw and giving some room for their cutters to run into what should be small spaces, but they're opening them up.
Okay, we're back in action. It's 8-6 for the Germans as Belgium look to take things. Again, Germany coming out in their zone. I think they're back into the 1-3-3 again. So Belgium gonna have to work through this.
Puppy fence, I like to call this 1-3-1, 1-3-2-1, 1-3-3. Oh, and it gets away. Aaron throw behind the dump.
This is just exactly what we saw at the beginning of this game. Wasn't on stream, but Germany able to force those turns on Belgium. Again, the short field opportunity for Germany, and that's going to be an easy score for number 69, Simon Scheer, the puppy himself, getting the point there.
I think I can say it now. I think it's all over, Ravi, with only 6 minutes to go, and they open that lead back up to 3. I think it's over. Belgium got a good sniff there. They had clawed back and stole some of that momentum, but not quite enough to close the gap as the Germans come back and are really putting it to the Belgians in the late game.
Liam! Liam! It's Amsterdam, not Kapow. I know, yeah. Okay. Figure that out.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to agree with you, Stefan. It's going to be very hard for Belgium to come back from this one as long as we just heard the 5 minutes left jingle.
And we love this jingle. So much good music. Love Fleetwood Mac. Oh, this isn't even the Fleetwood. Not even the Fleetwood. Sorry, we're getting the Fleetwood Mac Sweet Little Lies as our starting jingle.
So what do you think here, Stefan, as we have a moment before Belgium starts us off with the possession? What do you think about this Tom's Tourney? This is your first time at this tournament. What do you think so far of the guys from Bruges and this organization here?
Oh, it's incredibly won tournament. Did that pull come in, by the way? I don't think it did. If that's never in, this is going to be coming in on the goal line. But to go back to the tournament, goodness gracious, what a well-run event in its 27th year. A memorial tournament for a man named Tom, of course, who had a tragic loss from our world on a motorcycle accident. But geez, they've taken this memorial, the amount of work that's gone in, the facilities, oh, a bobble drop there.
Oh,
Facilities are great, the tents, the lights, they've got it all. They've got the beers. Oh, can we say something about the beer that is flowing, the liquid gold, Ravi? They've got it all. Get to Tom's Tourney. If you've not been before, do it. If you've been and aren't here right now, why not? Come back. Do it next year. We'll see you here in Bruges. What a beautiful city.
Back in action as Germany is going to have another chance for another break as we see Rickards with the disc on the sideline. Getting to see some other German players now as Haag. Oh, a big layout bid.
Was a strip called or a foul called?
There was a strip called, I believe.
I think a missed call.
Question is, I did hear a slap. The question, did he have control of that disc before it got swatted away? That's the, you guys may be able to see on the replay. Sure. It's being brought to you by LTTV. Uncontested strip call. So it's going to come in right on the goal.
He must have had feet on the chalk.
And there we have Philip Ackermann getting the disc back to Sontag. Sontag looking for that around break, not seeing anything he likes. Gets the dump. Back to Ackermann, and then there's the D, Sontag. A little bit of a mistake. It's Belgium are off to the races after that turn. And that's gonna be a high throw. Sontag's gonna eat that one up.
Eat it right up, gobbled. it could possibly be done.
I don't know if you guys cut out our audio there, but in case you're just tuning in, that was a Callahan score off of a tip from the Belgians as they make the score 9-7. But again, there's about 1 minute left in this game. And even if the score has a difference of 1 at the end of that time cap, the game will be over. So Germans have all but won this game, but what a great play to cap things off.
Great play to cap things off. And you never know, pull Callahan, pull really quick. It could happen. we just need them to run this down. This is going to be a heck of a pull.
There's the pull.
That's not going to do it. That's going into the next field.
It's outside the 3 meter mark there. As Germany will probably try and walk it slowly to the brick mark if I were them.
Yeah, they've got nothing better to do than take their time right now.
So Belgium choosing to go into a man-to-man defense. The zone's going to take too long to get the turn, they think. As Germany look to work it up in what might be the last possession of this game. Oh, Belgium almost coming up. The sneaky play there. Germany finding the open side, but Belgium on their heels every time, putting as much pressure as they can. That's going to be out into space. Great layout grab there by number 4 on the Germans.
What a play.
And Belgium able to get the disc back now with a quick shot into the end zone. Oh, if that had gone, Stefan.
We could have been talking about something else, but we hear the jingle go behind us now.
Stefan, if only that huck was a little better.
A little better, a little earlier.
We would have had the opportunity to keep this game going.
It seems like it's all over, but they're crying now. This will be our last point. No matter which way we slice it, it is Germany who gets the win.
But we do have to say, Belgium, great job on you to keep this game competitive. They went down early, but they came back, played a lot better in the second half of this game, I have to say, Stefan.
Yeah, great run there after what would be halfway through this time segment where they put 3 in a row together that brought them right back into the thick of it, but the Germans just too strong to let it go on for too long.
So Germany here, trying to finish this game out with a nice, easy, clean offensive hold.
Ooh, nothing clean about that.
I think there was a bit of foot on that disc.
There's something turned wobbly there. I think he got a toe on it.
And there's a call somewhere else on the field.
2 throws ago. 2 throws ago, or at least 1 throw before the foot block. Up next here.
I'm not sure what the call is. I don't see a hand signal.
I'm not seeing anything yet either. We're awaiting our next game, Ravi. We've got CUSP La Fota 51, so a La Fota team with a bit of a Bologna, I think they're called 051, named after their area code merger. Will be taking on the Amsterdam Ultimate Club Open, who have had some mixed results yesterday. Probably not right where they want, but a team that is oozing with talent. There's no reason they wouldn't be able to turn it on at the right time and get a result. So we've got a tasty one in front of us as well.
Yeah, that'll be on a different YouTube stream. So if you're watching this event, just kind of refresh YouTube feed, go to Tom's Tourney's YouTube page, find the next game, as this one's going to go back to the corner. This is going to be tapped back in. Violation called. And we'll see if Belgium's defense can be a little more stifling again. Germany not finding anything easy. That's just a throw to no one to try to get it into space. Bid, but it's not going to be enough. As Van Mullen, who's been a very good handler for Belgium this game, picking up the disc. Ready to see if we can at least get 1 more point in there for the Belgians. Gets it over to Faber on the sideline. Has the whole field in front of him. A big hammer. Is that going to work? Oh, almost comes off of his hands, and he's not able to reel that one in.
Good hammer in the wind. Should have receiver error for sure. Should have had him hit him just with his hand over his head.
Pressure on that disc. This is not the easiest catch in the world to make.
No, but one that I would expect my receiver to make in the end zone if I put a windy hammer up like that and hit him.
What I was more impressed, though, by the Belgians was their handler defense in that last possession, and see if they can put that intensity back out on the field and force another turn from Germany. Right now, they're getting it up the field. A little bit of bump on the mark.
A little extra.
Again, that swing completely shut down. Looking up the line, that up line shut down. The Belgians very athletic here. They are not done. Even though the game's over, they're not over. Nice bid.
Bids coming everywhere. They're putting their best stuff out last here when it doesn't matter as much. Sometimes easier to put your best stuff when there's less pressure to play.
Foul was called somewhere down the field. I was going to get a short break from that intense action. They are really putting pressure on these handlers, Stefan.
Oh, they're making them work for every inch. We saw a little bit of a bump after the catch. We saw 2 bids coming into the pockets. We saw a bit of everything. The Belgians are not going to let this one end without a fight here. They're swinging right till the bitter end, and it's, if nothing else, really great to see that kind of a finish.
So Germany here on the low sideline. Again, getting it off this sideline is basically an upwind throw, so that's also a little added pressure that Belgium has. There, the poach.
Step in front.
Defense from Dutot. Gets it back to Faber. Upfield and another layout D. Everyone's coming out on defense at this point, Stefan.
Into a small window. Well, layout D was there by Lind, but that was Van Mullum. Couldn't close the hands on that disc to receiver error there. Possibly because of all this pressure, though.
All right, so Germany getting another opportunity. Probably the most exciting point we've seen as a big disc goes up.
Floating.
There's going to be lots of Belgian shirts under it. It's going to be caught, and a foul is going to be called by Faber. Didn't like the look of that.
Came around his right shoulder, maybe a little bit of contact there.
Maybe pushed his way through to get, I mean, when he went up, it looked clean. Maybe pushed his way through to get to that position. Is that what the call is? I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it's up to them to decide. We don't have our replay screen right in front of us at the moment, so we're just going on our first look. And from what I saw on that first look, it looked harmless enough. But as we say, if the redhead out there felt some contact and because of it felt like that couldn't or prevented him from making the play he wanted, he's got all the right in the world to make that foul call, and he does.
Another contested foul here in this game as it scores, again, 9-7. This game is pretty much finished as this point. This is the last point of the game.
It is finished.
It's going to be either 9-8 or 10-7. It's not really making a big difference, but both teams really fighting. I think maybe one of the hardest fought points we've seen all game.
Yeah, and look at Eves even moving him to the precise spot. No, you weren't there. You were here. Get back here before we start.
There he gets the around pass. Kanzi gets it back to Linda. Over to number 4. It's an around pass, and that's Courtois is just getting his body all over the place. I don't think he really needed to make that defensive play.
Well,
why not?
A poor throw, but exactly.
Here's
just make sure of it.
Big pass up to Faber. Is it going to work? Oh, I thought it might have sailed around all those people and gotten a nice trash pickup by number 21 on Belgium, but no. Germany snags it out of the sky as they're now trying to work, and they're gonna. Oh, I thought that was coming.
We all want it to come, and now we've got the jingle I love. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
And Courtois again, his 3rd defensive play of this point.
Good.
That man.
If you were to tell me that Dutoit is not doing anything good out there, that would be a sweet little lie indeed. Because he is getting it done. That man is throwing his body around with reckless abandon. Woo!
That's Faber with the big hammer. This one might work, and it does. What a way to finish up that game as Belgium make the score 9-8, and the game is finished.
All over, but the crying great catch to hammer action. Beautiful finish to the game, but congrats to the Germans who did just a bit more in the middle section of that game to seal the victory. Ravi.
All right, Stefan, I think we're going to have to close things out here for this first game. We've been able to stream here on Alti.tv at Tom's Tourney 2019. Hope you enjoyed it. Switch your YouTube stream over for the Amsterdam Ultimate Club versus Cusb La Fota 51 coming up next.